Everyone, this is my watch list for Monday, April 27th. All right, so what's happening today? SPY's gapping up just a bit, very little bit, only 0.04%, and it's actually not even gapping above the previous session high. Friday's high is 714.50, right? So we're still below that. What can we watch for today? You could either watch for a break above 714.50 for longs, right? But again, I've already mentioned this before. Market's pretty overextended. We're heading into a volatile time for the market, so I would rather watch for failures, okay? So 712, right? This is the level that we failed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, right? If we get back below 712, this is previous all-time high. I like shorts on SPY. Back below 712, we have originally room into 709, which is the session low from Friday. But then after that, honestly, we have macro room down to 703, okay? So you can watch, one of two things, really. You can watch for the hold of 712 to go long or the failure of 712 to go short. That's all I'm watching on SPY today. QQQ is gapping up a little bit as well above Friday session high, but it looks like it may be selling some here. Yeah, it's starting to sell a little bit. What can you watch on the Qs? Failure of the previous session high, failure of Friday high, 664.50, or the hold of 664.50, right? Those are really your only two options, is either the failure or the hold, right? So if we get the failure of 664.50, I have room down to 662, right? That's a $2.50 move. And then if we get below 662, this really has capitulation into 657, which was the session low from Friday, right? That's a nice $5 potential move if we get back under 662, okay? Let's look at some individuals. Apple, weak this morning, gapping down 1.69%, was also one of the only red beta names on Friday. They got some news. OpenAI is planning a phone, all right? So that's pretty direct competition. It is gapping down into demand, but I do like rejects on this. I like rejects if we get into that Friday session low, right? If we get a pop into this 269.50 to 270 area, I like shorts on Apple, okay? Let's take a look at some other individuals. AMD, this is just madness, right? This is just madness. Look at this daily chart. Again, nothing I can do on AMD until it gets a pullback. Once it gets a pullback, let's say we get the gap fill, right? There's still a gap fill down to 310. If we get the pullback into 310, we can look for longs. Until then, you're just basically chasing this move, or you're trying to short something that is extremely strong. So either way, it's a tough situation for AMD. I'm not watching anything, all right? Amazon, similar scenario. This actually wound up working the break of the previous all-time high, that 258.50. And I still like that level for a bounce. So if Amazon pulls back into 258.50 today, I'll be watching for a bounce on Amazon. Meta, I like the 680 level. All right, 680 was the high from Friday, pre-market high. It's just a nice little hourly level. You can see the wicks there as well. If we get above 680, this has room back into these highs from 2 Fridays ago, into 690, okay? Netflix, still watching the same level. It has, I've mentioned this like 14 times. It hasn't gotten there yet, right? 91 to 90. This is our demand on Netflix. If we see reactions off of that today, I will be looking for longs, potentially even a swing if we hold this level, okay? NVIDIA, pretty strong, right? Pretty strong Friday, up 4.5%. Chips are just crazy strong, but it's gapping right into previous all-time high. So if you zoom out to the 4 hour, you see previous all-time high is 212, right? And that's where we're gapping into. So you don't really want to be long into 212. Maybe if it breaks above 212, you could go long. But besides that, I would rather take this again. Like I just want names to come back and retest previous demand levels. So if we get back into 204, I like this for a long. Or you could take the 212 breakout, but then you're trading into all-time highs and you don't really know how far it can go above all-time high, okay? PLTR, yeah, 148 was the level I was watching. It still hasn't gotten there. But if we get the pop in 148, I like shorts. And Tesla, right? So Tesla, 368 capitulation. If Tesla loses 368, this has room really all the way back down to 360. And then if we lose 360, there's no telling how far this can go. 355, 350, right? So 368 is the level I'm watching on Tesla. Obviously, it gave up the entire earnings move. Or if we reclaim 383, it's a long, okay? So 383 reclaim long, 368, below 368, this is a short for me on Tesla, all right? So that's my watch for today. Let's see what happens. Yes, I'm still in my Q swing. I want to see how we close today. I don't want to just jump out at the open. You know, if we fell below the previous session high and we close weak today, then we stay in our position, right? It's a very small gap up. It's not like we're gapping up 1%, okay? So let's see what happens off the open. I do think we're going to get a pullback, so let's see what happens today. Busy week, lots of earnings and FOMC on Wednesday, so it's going to be a fun time ahead, okay? All right, good luck today, guys, and I'll see you on live.